This is a very important topic, very timely topic. There's a lot of buzz in the email ecosystem about what Google and Yahoo have done and are doing. But the first thing we're going to dive into is what exactly are these new rules that Google and Yahoo are implementing? Well, there are three main rules. They're somewhat concise, but three main rules, and there's some branches here and there, but we'll first talk about the three main rules. The first is that email senders who are sending emails to private Gmail addresses and private Yahoo addresses need authentication. That's the first thing. Authentication is not new to the emailing world. We're going to talk about some of the authentication protocols a little bit later through this presentation, but a lot of you email senders who have been doing this for a couple of months, a couple of years, you might have heard about some of the authentication protocols that are important. Now, Google and Yahoo are saying you must be authenticated if you want to send emails to users on their network. Now, the other thing is that if, as an email sender, you're sending more than 5,000 emails per day, so you're a bulk email sender, that's what they call it. If you've ever done up to 5,000 emails per day, and honestly, this is not just from one sender, this is from your entire organization. So this could be newsletters, prospecting emails, marketing emails, transactional emails. If everyone altogether, all the various inboxes have done up to or more than 5,000 emails per day, then you must start including a way for your recipients to unsubscribe from your messaging. Very important. We're going to talk a little bit more about this as well. It's more stronger, it's more of a marketing requirement, but just keep that in mind. It's very important. And finally, Google and Yahoo are saying that email senders need to maintain a user complaint rate. A user complaint rate, to explain this clearly, means that if a user responds to your emails by marking you as spam, that is a user complaint rate recorded. Yeah. So it's not exactly bounces or anything like that, but if someone marks you as spam, that's one complaint. And so your complaint rate right now should typically be about 0.1% or lower. But then there's a bit of a window. The maximum complaint rate that you can have as a sender is 0.3%. What that means is that if 3 people out of every 1,000 emails you send mark you as spam, you're in trouble. Yeah. So 3 is the climax. And honestly, that's a very, very tight requirement, to be honest, for email senders. But we'll talk about how to solve this in a bit. Now, there are a few other applications for these rules. Like I said earlier, Google specified, in fact, in the last couple of months, Google has removed stuff from the blog that they posted about this requirement. You know, initially they said this, and later they cleaned out a little part of it. And so the truth is that in the email ecosystem, we are still concerned that there are a few other things that could be affected by these rules, that they were not clearly stated. One of them is that email senders who are emailing businesses or who are emailing organizations, schools, so pretty much like Google Workspace, Yahoo professional email addresses, example, your domain.com, which are, you know, typically what happens with B2B emailing activity. Email senders who are doing those kind of emails might also be subjected to the same spam filtering technologies and scrutiny. So pretty much the same rules that we just talked about might also apply to you. So don't only think, oh, it's only for private inboxes. If I'm emailing private inboxes, I should be concerned. If I'm emailing businesses, I don't have anything to worry about. That's not very true because Google has not been very clear. And initially, when they said that Workspace was going to be included, they later came and just quickly took it out. They might just be observing, and then they might implement this in the next couple of days. We don't know. So keep that in mind, that you are not taken out of the equation just because you're doing B2B emails. Another concern is that other email service providers, Outlook, Zoho, Yandex, there are a couple of big ESPs out there. Nothing stops them from in the following months, in the following weeks, in the following years, joining Google and Yahoo to implement a similar standard for spam filtering. So that's something to also be concerned about. Other ESPs might join in this, they might join the bandwagon and also start just making sure that they're improving their spam filtering technologies, they're protecting their users. So I have seen and I read that, some people are saying, okay, what you can do now is, kind of switch and don't focus as much on Gmail or split your list. This is Gmail, this is Outlook. That might work for a while. If your recipient list, you start segregating or segmenting by ESPs, it's not a bad strategy. But what happens if in the next 1 or 2 months, Outlook says we're doing the same thing, or Zoho says we're doing the same thing, then we're all back in the same, big trouble, and we have to fix it. So keep this in mind. Changes are happening. we are not all protected. Everyone is everyone is going to be a part of this, most likely. Now, what happens if you choose to ignore these rules? The truth about this is that the things that we have just talked about, some of these rules, they've always been there. Google, Outlook, Yahoo, different ESPs have always preached about authentication. They have always talked about unsubscribed links. It's always been there. But now it's not just, a nice to have. It's now a requirement. And so before you could, some email senders could get away with breaking or bending some of these rules. You could choose to do it your way now and then. But now they're putting down the hammer. If you don't go through with these rules, what will happen is, one, your email deliverability will be affected. So first of all, your emails might just start landing in spam. Nobody wants that. But that's number one. Number two, the email sender, so the email inbox responsible for breaking these rules, could be blocked. This could come with an error message saying, your email, something has happened to it, but it could be blocked. Now, the worst part is that the entire organization, this could be your entire workspace account, this could be the domain that is housing the inbox that violated these rules, that entire organization can also be blocked. So it's a big, big problem if you choose now that you're not going to take the rules seriously, because your entire organization could be affected. So keep that in mind. We can't really hide from these rules right now. Tony already mentioned this. When will the rules be affected? Google already has started. The 1st of February was the day Google stipulated. This was back in October 2023. They said 1st of February, we're getting started. There's some stipulations out there that Google has started rolling out this update or this change. And probably by April, they might have fully blown this out and it might be completely functional. But Google should have started by now. Now, Yahoo was pretty unclear. They never mentioned, oh, this is the 1st or the 2nd or whatever. But they said by Q1, January, February, March, we should be having the update for Yahoo. So keep in mind, it's already started.